Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So this is the video that I know a lot of people have been waiting for. We're gonna finally update you on what we've been doing here in the garage in terms of renovations and little tweaks and things. And if you're a patron, you know most of this, but for those of you who aren't patrons, it's finally that time where you guys get to see this. And I think there's a lot to update. If you haven't been following along with this series, we essentially started with a blank, empty garage and we had drawers and stuff, but there was nothing nice about it. So if you haven't checked out the other two videos, I'll put a link up there or a card in the top right where you can click to follow along with the playlist. I'll also put it down in the description. You can click down there to see those first two videos. This is technically part 3 of the series, and we've had a few subscribers that have gained on. So if you haven't seen that, go check those out and you'll see kind of the transition from the whole thing and how it's grown. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I want to start a little bit with the aisle, and that's mostly because not much has changed in the aisle specifically. At least with the drawer units, not much has changed. I am excited to say we finally are starting to use that wall over there. We started with this side because we needed these larger drawers down here. And then we transitioned to finally getting to number those. So those are now numbered and ready to be parted out into. They are sitting up there. You can see, and if you've missed this in the past videos, again, I would totally suggest checking those out. You can see where the garage started and where it is now. And I think it's really quite amazing. But the drop ceiling is in. Those drawers are sitting up there between the drop ceiling and that. The entire garage is drywalled now, just a little recap, I guess. But yeah, this is essentially our aisle. Not much has changed. It's pretty much the same. I'll talk a little bit about the flooring at the end. There's some there's some wood kind of sitting there still from little things. But yeah, the aisle is the same. But an exciting thing is the lighting above. So these are lights that, these are 4-foot LED, I think they're shop lights is what they're really intended for. But these are, we got them on Amazon. I can leave a link below if I can find it again. Or yeah, I'll leave a link below, I'll find it for you guys. If you're interested. They're really nice because for us primarily, when we're shooting, you can see there's no flicker. So we had problems in the past or things where we purchased a light that claimed it wasn't gonna flicker on camera and they would flicker and things like that. But these finally do not flicker on camera. You can see they're actually consistently on and the camera sees a consistent image, which is fantastic. Our pick-a-brick cups did move back up to there. For some reason, we had stuck them right here on this drawer unit for a short period of time. They've now moved back over there. I don't actually know why they moved in the first place, but they're back in their original intended location. Other than that, pretty much nothing on the aisle. I'll talk more about the lighting in a few minutes when I get to the switches, or not the switch area, but like the, I don't know, where we have the switches. If we look over here at our packing station, pretty much nothing has changed, I don't think. Maybe the cup with scissors. Actually, I know that's brand new. That's exciting. Other than that, nothing has changed here. We still have, we have 5 trays currently at the moment. Keyboard, trackpad, computer for picking orders, and then some bags and things like that. Now, I'm going to kind of transition and show you guys the middle section of our area, our garage, or what we call the store. We just say, you know, oh, I'm in the store today or whatever. But this is our store, essentially is what we call it. It's technically a garage, but we've converted it. You can see our sign is on this wall. I have added more planks to the wall. So now you can actually, or we can actually eventually put the drawers from that side, or not from that side, but when we need more drawers, we can buy more, put them on this side. You know, that's definitely a ways away, but as eventually, hopefully, you know, we'll get there. Over here, we have some light stands just kind of sitting there. This is our bin section. So you can see there's bins here. I don't think anything has changed here. Oh, no, that's not true. We actually started storing instructions in these now. So the larger instructions, for example, this Shrimp Shack Attack set from Hidden Side doesn't fit in the bins. That's where we normally store instructions. They are now in these little drawer things. Paul was getting rid of those, so he donated those to the store, which is pretty awesome because now we have a place to store those. For a long time, we just had those, you know, the ISS and the Shrimp Shack Attack and some other things just kind of sitting out because we didn't really have a place for them. Now, this is our center section. This is our table, and really nothing changed about the table necessarily. From what I can think at least, except for currently what is on it. But this is our table. We have 2 of these fold-up tables. They're 2.5 by 6 feet, so essentially this is 5 by 6 feet in the middle here. Now they are at standing height, so we can work right here while we're standing, and the way we do that is down here we have these PVC pipes. Our table's legs have a bend in them, so when the pipe hits that bend, it kind of jams in there, which raises the table up to a nice height here. So super convenient there, but currently we're parting out, or sorting through, I guess, the Legoland bulk Lego lots. So this is kind of exciting. Definitely also a challenge, though. That does not go in there. Definitely a challenge, and essentially we started with 16 of these bags, and now we're down to 4 or 3.5 bags left, and that's pretty much it. And then you can see they were sorting them into categories, and then from here we'll start to actually do the indexing of what specific parts we have, and then from there we can upload everything, and we'll see, was this worth it and worth the time or not? We are tracking our time and everything, so that'll definitely be shown. But yeah, this is our center section again. Nothing crazy that has changed. Now, if you're starting to think, okay, nothing's happened in this, this is where I really am excited and proud, and I'm gonna tilt up and show you guys our brand new workspace. This is extremely exciting to me, and I'm really proud with how this turned out. I think it actually looks really fantastic, in my opinion, personally. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm proud with the way everything came out. I guess I'm a little surprised as well. But essentially, this is all custom built. It's been happening over the course of the past, I don't know, month, maybe month and a half. Yeah, maybe a month and a half now, possibly. But yeah, this has all been happening kind of on the side because we've been really focusing on the store and growing everything as opposed to just getting this done. But this has been done as well. We have this nice countertop here. It's kind of like a butcher block countertop, and then underneath that we have some cabinets that hold various things for our store. I will start by, I guess, talking about the countertop. This essentially was 2x4s. So this was all 2x4s. I ripped them down with table saw. It's 2x2s. You can kind of see the edges here. They're kind of square. But essentially a ton of 2x2s that were clamped together and glued like crazy. The amount of glue on this thing is insane. And then, unfortunately, because I don't have a planer, I had to sand this all by hand or with a belt sander, but still crazy. A lot of sanding to get this thing flat, or flat enough that it was acceptable. And then a few coats of polyurethane, so it's got a nice smooth finish. And if we leave a cup or whatever, or we get water on it, it's not going to damage the wood or anything. Below that countertop is where we have the cabinets built. So over here on the left-hand side, we have something kind of exciting. Or actually, it's stupid how excited we were for this, I suppose. This is our trash can. And the reason we were excited for a trash can is because we never really had a place that was like a designated trash area. So the front one is the trash can, the back one is the recycle. We have one more recycle bin that's in here. We use recycle primarily, I would say, for boxes, bags, different things, whatever it might be. And then the trash does not get filled up. So we got a trash can there, super exciting. Before this, we didn't have a trash can in here. We just threw the trash away outside. Up here, we got another drawer. It has just kind of turned into a junk drawer, which is not great, but there's some Ziploc bags, some microfiber cloths, different things in there for cleaning stuff and different things like that. Now, if we head over here, I'll kind of drop down and show you guys here what we have. This is currently our Lego storage, and this is for sets and things that are not yet parted out or not yet in the store. So you can see here we have some hidden side train sets. We got some stuff in that priority mailbox that came from Germany, or someone in the U.S. Army in Germany, and then some promo sets and things that are going to be parted out. And then down here we currently have 2 bins, cables and stuff. And if we need to, the benefit is we can take these bins out, and if we have more of these and stuff or different sets that are overflowing, we can put those down here. It's not bad. We have 2 shelves of storage essentially. These don't need to be here at the moment. They can leave if possible, but there's no hurt in having extra storage. Now, something I did is we put some plastic on the edges of this and kind of tape that down with some double-sided tape. So hopefully we're not totally scratching up all the white paint on the cabinet. And then over here, kind of down here, we have our little subwoofer section. Obviously not that that's super important or required at all, or even the best place for it, but it was the most convenient place. So that's what we did there. Then over here, this is the 3rd cabinet section that was built. Or correction, it was actually the very last one that was built, but it was the 3rd portion of this kind of whole setup here. This is our shipping station. So it doesn't look a ton different from the past shipping station, obviously, besides the fact that it's finished and it's in a cabinet and there's some stuff on it and it looks much better. But exciting is down here we have bubble storage. So these are, bubbles that we use for packaging. We got some bubble wrap. Now, we don't buy any of this. This all comes with something we order. If we order something, we have extra bubbles. In this one, we have paper and bubbles. Whatever it might be, we just save it and we put it in these drawers. Now, these are custom built, so there's only maybe a 1/4 of an inch or something between the top of this drawer kind of side and the top of this, or the bottom of this, I suppose. So in theory, bubbles won't go behind and then get stuck and then be jammed back there, because that would be extremely unfortunate. But yeah, bubbles and paper storage down there, super exciting, because we never had a good place to store those, and they were always just all over the floor jumping around and stuff. So that's super exciting. Other than that, we have our normal shipping station here, label printer, tape, bubble mailers and stuff. Difference with this one is it kind of pulls out now, so we can restock it a lot easier, you know, get back there or whatever it might be. That was kind of a downside before. This is not on drawers, but put some drawer slides down there. Now it slides in very nicely. Obviously, the finishing on this one's not as nice as the rest of the cabinets. You know, these are nice and smooth and finished. This is the OSB or OBS. Well, I can't remember what it's called, but the particle board type thing. Just cheap, but that was something I made out of scrap wood a few months ago, actually. Now, if we head up here, this is our shipping station. This is where we do the actual shipping, or we type in the numbers and things like that. Currently, though, we have our tracker up. So this tracks you know, hours that we worked and stuff, and we have a list of tasks that were completed that day. So if I come in on, let's say, Tuesday, and Paul was in here on Monday, I can see what Paul did on Monday. And if Kyle was the last one here on Saturday, then Kyle can check and see what Paul can check and see what Kyle did on Saturday. So we can kind of see and follow along with each other, as well as track our hours, especially tracking hours as to what we have currently been doing. Other than that, over here we have a security system hub, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have our barcode scanner. And then on this side we have, this is a drawer of parts not yet in the inventory. That is the amp for the speakers. And then over here we have our scale, our counting scale. Now, a lot of people have questions about this, and I'll probably at some point do another video on the counting scale, just because there's a lot of questions and stuff on it, and I'll answer some questions eventually. But currently that's where our counting scale goes, mostly because right now we just use it, if we're not using it to count, we're using it for figuring out how much a package weighs when we're doing the shipping. Over here we got some more pens and scissors, Rubik's Cube for decoration, I guess, plant for decoration. And then you can see we have this nice power strip that's along the wall, which is actually super, super nice, super convenient. That was something that was a problem for us, I would say, I don't know, all the time, I guess, was just finding a place to plug in our laptop or our phone or whatever it might be. But now we can easily have this power bar. We're never going to use the, I don't even know, 18, 20 ports on here, or plugs, but we do have the option if we need to. Actually, it'd be dangerous to use that many, but it is now back there on the thing, which is super awesome. Over here we have a microwave, so if we're reheating leftovers, a meal, whatever it might be, we got a little microwave here, just super cheap. We got that, I don't know when we got that. Got that a while ago. It just has a home now, finally. And if we head up here, you can see we have another cabinet. Now this is what's intended, or this was intended to be a pantry. It kind of turned into like Lego storage, obviously, but you can see we have some chips and stuff up there. Other than that, nothing crazy. On top of the fridge, and I'll talk about the fridge in a minute, we have just a ton of junk. But if we go over here, I guess, all right, I'll talk about the fridge, I suppose. Freezer, not much in there right now. I think there's like a thing of ice cream, but in the fridge, nothing crazy, obviously. We do have some coffee, some fruit, cheese, or string cheese. That's really it, actually. Like a smoothie or something down there, some Mike's Hard Lemonade. That is pretty much it in the fridge right now. But yeah, I'll go back over here. So this currently is running on a Mac Mini, which is mounted down here. If you see under there, right there, that's the Mac Mini. We have another power bar down here, but the Mac Mini is mounted on there. And then in addition to that, this is also part of the Mac Mini. This is a brand new TV. It's a Vizio 58-inch 4K TV. It's a huge upgrade from the last TV that we had, which was, I don't know, it was years old. It was 1080, but it was like, usually 1080 should be totally fine. This TV was just really bad. It was free. It was Paul's dad from years ago. He had it like very long ago. So finally got to replace that, and it looks much, much better now. But as you can see, this is our new workstation. And obviously it took a very long time, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. You can see a speaker up there on the top left. There's a speaker in the top right. If I spin around, there's a speaker back right. And there's also a speaker over there back left. So it's just stereo, but it goes around, plays music, or if we're watching Netflix or whatever it might be while we're partying out or doing whatever, we can easily watch that there, which is fantastic. Now, I briefly talked about the studio over here for a very short period of time. I'm gonna head over here though. This is the actually the first cabinet I built, as well as the first small countertop. And if you look here, it is a sink, and we finally have a sink and some water in the garage. Now, primarily, this was something where if our hands got dirty for whatever reason or whatever, we felt like we needed to wash our hands, we were not able to do that in here. So this was definitely kind of the first priority type thing. Not priority, but like the first reason I was like, you know what, we need something. And I was like, well, we could buy a standalone sink, or we could just buy the hardware and the faucet. And it's a super cheap faucet, super cheap little drinking faucet, super, super cheap sink. And then the cabinet was all just made out of, you know, wood and stuff. So it just labor costs, not labor costs, but free labor costs, I guess. So overall, it wasn't too expensive to do this, and it was just going to be worth it. over a standalone sink. So here we obviously have, you know, hot and cold water. It turns on and, you know, it does its thing. I got some soap there at the moment, but this is also extremely important. This is for some drinking water. So you can see that goes through a little filter down below, and we can drink that water so that refills our stuff. So instead of us having to bring water with us, and if we run out, we're just out of luck for the day, you know, we have water in here, which is absolutely fantastic. Now down here, like I said, this is the first cabinet I built. This also has some cleaning supplies and stuff underneath it, a duster, some air fresheners, sponge. You can see I bought a ton of that spray stuff. But yeah, the sink is great here, super convenient. This was the first cabinet kind of like actually installed and done just because those were not a priority versus the sink over there, because we could wash our hands and stuff. Kind of close to the last thing I'm going to talk about is this studio space over here. Currently, we have just this this table. This is where we do our streams and stuff. We set up a couple, you know, it's two of us sitting in a chair, and we've never had a background, but this is going to be the future background. Speaking of streams, Kaylee and I, tomorrow, we're going to start building that set there. The haunted house set. We're going to do that on Thursday, I believe in the morning, around 10 a.m. our time. We will confirm that, but I believe that's what's going to happen. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will be starting building the haunted house set, because it is October and it's time to build. But this is our table where we generally do that. We also do some work here for doing like spreadsheet number or whatever it might be. This is just kind of some of the stuff that partially is built, needs to be built. Sets kind of in our backlog, a personal backlog, nothing for BrickLink specific, but eventually, if you look up here, we have no lighting installed above the studio. And that's because we're going to install studio lighting. So we actually have access, because Kyle and I have a production company. We have tons of lights. We got 24 different, not 24 different, but 24 lights. I think 6 different types of lighting. So we'll pull that in and we'll mount some rails up top here, and we'll light the studio once we actually decorate and kind of figure out exactly what that's going to be. But that'll be exciting, and that'll be another video in the future, but don't expect that anytime soon. Last thing I want to talk about here, I guess, real quick, is kind of our security system / lighting. So, like I showed you guys over there, we have a security system now. So this is through SimpliSafe, and this is cool because it actually, you know, we can type in our code or whatever it is. Currently, obviously, the alarm's off. If we're leaving, we can click away, and it arms the system. So we have these door sensors. So that's the one on this door, and then there is one on the main garage door as well. So when the garage door opens up, it'll actually say whatever it says, garage door open or whatever, or it registers that it's open. So, you know, when we leave for the day, the system arms, obviously, because we do have quite a bit of money worth of inventory, and for insurance purposes, it's much better if you have an armed system and stuff. It also obviously protects you and stuff from, you know, in theory, theft and stuff, hopefully. But as well with SimpliSafe, we have one camera here, we have another camera on the wall over there. And then what's cool is we actually have a smoke alarm and a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide detector up there. So in addition to not only, you know, us being in here and hearing that, it is connected to SimpliSafe. So if we, for example, need, or let's say I'm at home and I'm not here, no one's here, but the smoke alarm goes off, someone's going to call me, I'll get a notification on my phone. Everyone in the store will know, even though we're not currently here in the store. So that's pretty cool. But SimpliSafe is awesome so far. No problems with that, just great. But you can see we have these 2 light switches here. Now I'm going to turn off the lights for a moment. It's going to get pretty dark, but you can see we have 2 separate light switches, and I'll show you guys kind of the lighting. So this is bank B, or what we consider bank B, turning on and off right now. And the reason for that is those 5 over there illuminate most of the aisle and about 2/3 of the table or so. So I would say that's pretty good, and with that being the case, someone can still work in that lighting, and this allows us to turn these lights off. So if we're shooting in the studio, these lights are not interrupting the other lighting for the studio. You can see it actually does add quite a bit of light. So if that's bank B and this is bank A, most likely we'll never have bank B on and A off, but you can see all of them off there, just A, B, and A together. So that's pretty much it for the garage. Huge update. We are going to work on some flooring. We currently have this green shag rug here in our studio space. Helps absorb a lot of the sound. But in addition to that, we're going to do some other stuff with the flooring here. That won't be a whole video update, but that will be an update nonetheless in some other video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed all the updates that we did. I know it was a long time coming and a lot of stuff. It's totally impressive how this garage has changed. I really wish I took a before and after photo And unfortunately I didn't, but it's just insane how much this has changed here. Doing the drywall, doing the ceiling, adding the lighting, custom cabinets, fridge, all that kind of stuff. It really does look fantastic. And we're definitely planning, obviously we put the investment into doing this versus moving to a location. We are planning on being here for an extended period of time. We have no plan in the near future to get any sort of warehouse. The goal is going to be to expand as much as we can in here until we reach capacity. At that point, we'll get something else. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Really shows us that we're doing something awesome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And go ahead and click that subscribe button. We appreciate everyone who tunes in, and we do a lot of BrickLink and Lego content. Thank you guys again one more time for watching. Oh, we got some blinds too. So there's some blinds there. Cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you all in the next video.